and I'm just always the bad guy. So talking about discipline, I'm a firm believer in discipline, but I don't like being the one who disciplines all the time. And so it's just hard because I'm the one who's doing that. And then Yvonne gets to be the fun uncle who does all the cool things with them because I get all the junk stuff done with them first. So it just kind of, I don't know, just kind of stinks because my relationship with them doesn't get to be cool. My relationship is like, wake up, eat your food, let's do the homework. Okay, time for school. And so trying to figure out how can I still be fun with them because I'm not. But then also saying like I need time by myself, and that's when I get to be fun. But then I'm just fun all alone. So I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna do that. And Yvonne's gonna start traveling more with Young Life in the country, so that means that I'll really be on my own with all the things. So yeah, we'll see.
Is there ever an option to send Benji with your niece and nephew when they go to the other sister-in-law on the weekends? Like, hey, take all of the children.
If Yvonne is going to be there, but I don't
you
want
wouldn't
my
send
son
him without. Okay.
without one of us there, because
Okay.
there's things that I don't 100% agree with.
Yeah.
Which kind of is like a double standard because I'm like, fine, the niece and nephew can go, but they're a little bit older, and yeah. So.
No, that makes sense.
And I just need that break. So I'm like, we're gonna take it. But yeah, I'm would not let Benji be there. Of course, I don't know if sending Yvonne is really making a difference, but because he takes them when he goes to pick them up, and it's like a 40-minute drive to go, and then he'll be there for a couple hours and then come. So I don't know if Yvonne's actually paying attention, but I hope he is.
But you're getting fun alone Rachel time. So
but I just kind of don't care.
Sometimes you just
tell him to go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on there. Claire, are you ready now?
I am. Nachos are very time sensitive. Not much is going on here. I'm still in Cleveland. The borders to Costa Rica for Ohio opened up on October 1st, and the borders for all of the United States open up on November 1st. But I'm trying to decide if I go back in November because I have to stay here. I'm going to help my dad take care of the dog at the end of October for 10 days ish. So I'm trying to decide, do I go back now or do I stay here for Christmas? What do I do? So just trying to make that choice. I talked to my dad about it a little bit. We'll see what happens. But everything else, I mean, is pretty much the same. Not much is changing. Getting a flu shot today. I'm living in a place where the flu is like a thing. I don't want that. Yeah, that's it really. But yeah, how about Jesse? I picked you in your present. Sorry.
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me okay or no?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you can't. Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Okay. Well, we came back to the beach because we had the opportunity to, and there are protests throughout the entire country because the government is increasing taxes and decreasing social services because we're in an economic crazy town. So our 3.5-hour drive to the beach took us 12 hours. And I left at 6 p.m. thinking that the protesters would go home and go to bed. They did not. So I left.
They're real angry.
And arrived at 6 a.m. So that was fun.
Is it just the two of you?
Sandy is here too, but Sandy came on Friday because we were supposed to come on Friday, but then we had to go to, we were supposed to come on Thursday. She tried to go on Thursday and the roadblocks sent her back home, and she went on Friday. But we had to go to court on Monday to pick up a document. The document that says that Valeska is adoptable, to turn back into that same court with our adoption paperwork. And it had to, I had to be the one that picked it up, and it had, they called on Thursday and said I had to be at court on 2 p.m. on Monday. And thankfully at 2 p.m. they were ready for me, which is a miracle. So that was a good thing. But yeah, so we are excited about being outside in a different environment and looking forward to squeezing in beach and pool in between Zoom calls for a few days. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity, and I was feeling it, that it was necessary. So I'm glad that we're here. So
Jesse, Narcisse and I said that all of the Nicas that that moved to Costa Rica in 2018 are helping the Ticos now with their protests. They're really good at it.
But for real, I lived past some of those tranques or whatever, the tires on fire and all that stuff, and I was like, flashbacks. Okay, but yeah, I would not be surprised if there is a significant Nica assistance. But
Nicas are
I am
really good at it.
very impressed with their discipline and their organization, and they're peaceful. They stop all traffic for hours at a time and make everybody else frustrated, but they're not doing anything else. So it's I'm way to go. And the president, who for a solid week has said, I will not negotiate, is in negotiations today. So hopefully we'll be done soon. All right, Bowden, you're up.
I was telling myself, don't say anything. They're going to call on you next. But I couldn't miss out on, Nicas are professional protesters and capuchaos. We were wearing masks before anybody else. So it's just what we do. So today has been a long day, and it's only 1:30. I've had 3 appointments. One with a fertility clinic to do a biopsy on my uterus. Yes, all the way up to your uterus. Usually biopsies are just your cervix. Yeah, that's a great face, Jesse. And then I went to physical therapy because I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm doing pelvic floor physical therapy, which I just think everybody should do. By the way, I think it's great and highly recommended. So if you want to talk more about that later, we can. And then I went to acupuncture, and for the first time ever, I yelled at her when she put a needle in because it hurt so bad. And she was like, oh.
Was it on your knee again?
No, it was on my stomach this time. I felt one in my hand that was pretty tingly, and then one on my stomach, and then one on my back, my left shoulder. Those were all pretty tingly. But the one on my stomach, I was like, ah! And I was like, I'm sorry, that was a full body response that I did not expect. And she was like, yeah, sometimes that happens, it's okay, or whatever. So, but most of the ones that have you can feel have something to do with fertility things. So it feels productive and we're in the right direction. And we try to do it before my next cycle starts so that I can stave off the headache I get 2 days before my cycle. So hopefully, because those, I call them migraines. Doctors have called them tension headaches because whatever. But hopefully that will not be a thing this weekend. That's what we're going for. But yeah, so that's all happened before noon today. And it's kind of the summary of my life at this point. I just feel like I keep going to doctor's offices and And I feel like my boss is eventually going to say, like, are you dying? You go to the doctor a lot. Because I just say, tengo una cita médica. And they're like, okay. But it's beneficial to have male supervisors. When a female says they have to go to the doctor, they don't ask too many questions. I don't know if that's your experience, but that's been mine.
Really quick, I'm gonna
yeah.
need you to explain the pelvic floor physical therapy real fast, because all I'm picturing is some
Great.
doctor like shoving his whole hand up you, because that's where your
Whole hand,
pelvic
oh
floor
my.
is.
Okay.
And
I
I
don't know
just-
if that's possible.
I don't either,
Yeah,
but
no.
listen, I just need
So-
some clarification.
So here we are. I'm glad this is being recorded. So whoever's going to watch it later, we can.
Amanda, this is for you.
Your ears only. If your husband's in the room, tell him to go away. Whatever. Sex hurts, and it has hurt, and it's gotten worse in the last, well, I was going to say 6 months, but I've been in the United States for 6 months. So that's not true. For the last year, it's gotten worse. And so the test that I did this morning, I don't know if I said this, was to see if I have endometriosis, which could also be like painful sex could also be a symptom of that. So we're trying to rule things out. We'll see what happens. And so there is some internal exams, and then there's also just like, I mean, pressure points like on your abdomen and stretches like happy baby and cat cow and whatever to kind of loosen those things up. And I mean, so if you guys asked, so I'm just giving you all the information.
Bring it on.
Day one, like even, and I will say I have 2 PTs because this clinic overbooks their PTs far too much. And so I kind of rotate between the 2. But the first time that I ever went, just like her putting her finger to do like the initial exam was like, ooh. And then like 3 weeks later, after going twice a week, it didn't hurt as bad, and it was just like, it's mostly just like, it's like a massage, an internal massage. There's no like awkwardness. It's all medical, both female, like whatever. I will say one of my PTs just got out of PT school, and she's like cute and young and awkward, hasn't figured out her like, what's the word, bedside manner yet, whatever. So she was like doing like some abdomen check the second or third time I saw her, and she like, there was like a silence, and she goes, so I got a cat. And I was like, okay. And this other girl that I see, we just talk about all the different things, and it's normal and fine, but it's just funny because I feel like Aman is the young one who just got out of PT school like literally in May, and Angel is the more experienced like person, whatever. So, but I mean, they said something along the lines of like, everybody needs pelvic floor physical therapy, and like, I mean, you can do it for painful sex, for prolapse, which I've heard horror stories. It's not my experience, but
Is that where your
like
uterus falls out?
Yeah.
Gross.
My friend who's a pelvic floor PT, told me a story that like her friend's aunt, her prolapse was so bad that she could feel it between her legs.
That happened to my friend's
That's
mom.
awful.
She could see it. She could see it.
So before it gets that bad, you can go to PT for that. But if it's that bad, you have to have surgery. Anyway, so it's all these different things. If you pee after pregnancy, especially like while you laugh or sneeze or whatever, you can go to pelvic floor PT for that too. Blah, 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 blah. So I would recommend it to anyone, especially the married ladies. But I mean, take care of it before you're married, and that's fine too. So anyway.
It's also if you struggle with constipation or needing to pee all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to be sexually active to need pelvic floor like knowledge. It's so important.
Yeah.
I'm a huge proponent.
Me too.
I'm so glad
so
this is the
has
first
been-
call we decided to record. I'm so glad.
All I can think about I guess what I was picturing when you were talking about it is that time I had to get a vaginal ultrasound, and the nurse was like, do you want to guide it in? Fuck. No.
Well, I've had
So that's what was
multiple
happening in my head
vaginal ultrasounds.
as you were saying this. I'm sorry.
No, it's more stretches and stuff. I had a vaginal ultrasound this morning, and he was not gentle or kind, and he just went for it. So that was kind of like, okay, good morning. But anyway, flights to Nicaragua were hopeful, and then they kind of shut back down again. Most of the commercial airlines, Avianca is still operating. I'm holding it loosely and kind of want to see the results to this test from this morning before I buy a plane ticket to see if I need any kind of further procedures and or surgeries to clean up the endo, or if there is. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Narcissa's birthday is on the 15th, and I'm sad to miss that, but it'll be okay. My sister and I are going to the beach for his birthday, so that'll be fun. And yeah, so more of the same, but also a little bit more productive. So keep on. SB.
Anybody want a bite? Jen says
What
no.
is it?
You missed
What
this
is that?
piece of guineo verde with some rice. Don't look so excited, everyone. You punk. All right. Well, first off, I've missed you guys. I feel like I missed last one because it was our anniversary and we were getting tattoos. So fun.
Show. Let's see. Where is
I
it?
would like more information.
It doesn't look very good right now because it's like prime peeling time, but you want to see it?
It's okay. Yes. Unless it's in an inappropriate place. Although even that, we
On
would
my
do that.
ass. You don't want to see it?
Yes, especially if it's there.
We just talked about pelvic floor. We can talk about all.
Ooh,
Oh, cool.
that's fun. What did
I
Arturo
like
get?
it. Tell me he got the same thing.
It's like a line sketch of a lion's head and mane on his right here.
Why didn't you
Cool.
get yours right there?
I have boobs. Which was fun. Not having boob, getting tattoos. Yeah, gosh, I feel a little nuts. Maybe I'm always nuts, but we had a retreat this weekend and then we just got back from the Capitol. Yesterday was Arturo's birthday. And if that scene is like always a little overwhelming and lively, multiply it by 3 for birthday celebrations. So, it was absolutely nuts, and may the Lord please protect us from the dozens of humans that were right in our faces, eating cake with fingers and dancing with each other, and it was like a cleanophobe's nightmare. So I drank a little whiskey to take the edge off and be able to get through the evening. I love them deeply, and I enjoy them. It's just a lot of people and a lot of sounds for. Okay. Anyway, and then on Saturday we're going to America. So we had wanted to take a trip anyway, and then I was dialoguing with one of my donors who's a gastroenterologist, and he offered to do my follow-up studies for free, which is really great. So a week from now, I'll be drinking the magic juices to get ready for my endoscopy colonoscopy. I definitely feel better than I did a couple of months ago, but don't always feel great and don't know if that's normal or if they're gonna find something. So I'm looking forward to just walking into a hospital and doing my appointment and leaving, getting results like a day or two later instead of the entire day commitment and like a month of waiting. So yeah, currently feeling nuts and not wanting to leave my house because I've been gone too much, but also excited to be with my fam for 2 weeks. And Allison, am I forgetting anything about my life?
What retreat did you have?
It was just our territorio retreat, so 1/3 of the country. It was like club directors and up.
Fun. Where'd you go?
We were at camp,
Perfect.
which is enjoyable, but those mattresses are rock hard, and it's just like weird wearing masks all the time and like navigating all that kind of stuff. So at least they wear their masks. I think that's all. Did I pick somebody?
Here, wait, really quick. My dad went outside. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
girlfriend got exposed to COVID. And so I get his girlfriend got exposed to the Rona. And so I get 14 days. That's the big
Silent
news.
celebration.
I thought you were gonna say that she brought it to you guys, and you were gonna be pissed.
Oh, I would have been real angry. Sorry. I just had to say that while he was away.
All right. Am I passing to Allison?
Nope,
To
I'm the
Jen.
only one left. It's just me. Eat your guineo. Sarah Beth, to
Yep.
add to the party of your life, just wait until you see what I'm bringing you back to wear. You wanted a banana costume. I did you one better. So just you wait.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm going to be wearing it on Sunday, so check my Instagram stories.
Okay. I'm
And then
excited.
it's yours. I bought it for you with the caveat that I would get to wear it to my mother-in-law's Halloween party that she's only having because we're not going to be here for Halloween. Okay. We're flying back to the DR. Sort of excited, sort of not, to be perfectly honest. So we got our passports on Monday, and the cheapest, earliest flight was October 24th. So the water gets shut off here October 15th. So we are going to move in with my in-laws to her little hoarding house for 3 days, which will be nice only because it's in town where all of our friends are, like where we used to live. It's right there. And so we'll be able to spend a few days easily seeing people before we go, because we do that. So judge me if you want, but I'm seeing all the people and I don't ever want to stop again because it's like I opened it, when you like break the seal and then you're like, don't put that seal back. Anyway, so Allison, you might not want to come to my house. I don't know. I don't know.
Is this because
and then
of
we're gonna,
COVID that you're saying this? I don't remember what the rules are anymore because in the DR, no one acts like anything's happening.
oh yeah. Here in America, people judge you
So
depending on what
I
you
don't
do,
feel like there's
at
any
least where I
judgment in this
am.
country anymore. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, basically it's just my sister, but whatever. So then we'll go to Chicago and spend a week there packing things up, and then we will fly back. So we have to overnight in New York, but it was honestly our best option. Otherwise, we had like 20 to 30 minutes to connect in various airports, and that just made me sweat thinking about 3 kids and like 77 bags and all the things. So we leave at dinner time. We sleep in a nice hotel in New York in the airport, and then we get on a plane at 8:30 the next morning and we're home by noon. So I'm excited to possibly find a room I can be alone in again. And I'm also kind of like, what's it going to be like? We're not going back to normal. My kids will still be there 24/7. And club is sort of happening at our house, but it's not it's like outside of our house, and it's only 1 grade at a time, and it's like it'll be fine, but it's not like we're not going back to normal. So I think I'm just a little anxious, excited. There should be a word for that. Excited. I'm excited about it. I'm super excited to see the lovely faces that are on this screen that I'll be able to like touch and hug. So I think that's the biggest thing. Jack is like, he says he's super excited to go back home, but he is like stage 5 meltdowns again daily about stupid stuff. So his anxiety is clearly very high. We think he's having ocular migraines daily. We don't know why, but he gets this like, and he can tell us when it's happening. He gets this like tunnel vision where he can't see beyond like right here for like 15 minutes and then it goes away. And it tends to happen, what we've been kind of tracking it tends to happen like after he's really upset about something, which is daily. So like I'm hoping if his anxiety lowers and lessens that maybe it won't happen as much, but we took him to the eye doctor and the eye doctor's like, his eye is fine. So he doesn't have tunnel vision because his eyes are stopping working, which is good, but there's something going on in his brain, probably. So you could pray for that.
I had those in high school and college with the stress of everything that was happening with my brother, family, etc.
Oh,
I went to neurologists and everything because they were trying to figure out what was going on, and finally had a doctor that like it, if it's stress related, they can't do like there's nothing they
Right.
can do. But the one thing that I was put on baby aspirin to help
oh,
thin the
like
blood or
the
something.
pressure.
Yeah. And so,
Okay.
but I would say that the one thing, I had several doctors that told me I was crazy or making it up or
Yeah.
doing stuff to get attention. So just the fact that you're taking it seriously is a big thing to lower the stress about it.
Yeah. Well, his dad is not, but thankfully one of us is. So yeah. And honestly, like he was running into walls and doing crazy things when we were in Chicago, which is what made me notice it. And then it was sort of like I forgot about it because he wasn't running into things and acting like he couldn't see beyond here. But it's like stress was higher then, stress is higher now. So I do think it's really probably anxiety, stress related. But anyways, you could just pray for that. I'm not planning to like do anything crazy other than just monitor it and see if we can sort of nail down what the triggers are. And and then last thing you could pray for, thanks to Sarah Beth. She, what's the word? Inspired me to get some of my gut things figured out. So I don't have anything figured out. So that's what you can pray for. I've done a lot of blood work and I had some numbers come back off, which could have meant parasite, allergy, or cancer. So we did a bunch of allergy testing. I'm not allergic to anything, which is good, I guess, although I kind of wanted to be so that I could just fix it. The parasite thing takes a number of weeks to come back because of the specialized Dominican parasites, because that's where they're checking for US ones, but they're also checking for Dominican ones because this has been going on since long before I came here. And essentially I'm eating fruits and vegetables and rice and potatoes, and it still is happening. So it's like I have done all those things, and she's like, well, now the next step would be a GI and exactly what Sarah Beth is doing. So, and I also took a round of, I don't know the name of it, but some kind of medication that if it was IBS, it would have like helped, and it didn't help at all. It actually made it worse. So I don't know what that means, but all that to say, I'm leaving the country of good medical care and trading it for not where I'd want to get a colonoscopy, endoscopy. So if you could just pray that when I get back, it's totally stress related, just like Jack, and it all goes away and I don't have to deal with it till maybe next summer or never. So, yeah, I can't eat anything and have it digest properly. That's the bottom line. So it's not a fun way to live. But yeah, so travel, poop, headaches. Those are your keywords for the Midamas.
I forgot about mine too. You can also pray for my poop.
Oh yeah. Did yours ever come back?
Came back as a no for parasites, but could be IBS, which is basically like saying like, oh, you're just gonna poop your pants sometimes.
Yes.
Happy pants pooping.
There
Great.
is though, I think Sarah Beth took it too. There is a 15-day, like it's like an antibiotic type of medication for IBS that usually you could do it like every few years, and it kind of like resets your gut with good stuff in it. And then if you have IBS, it's supposed to help. So is that not what you took, Sarah Beth? You don't know what you took. Okay.
Hard to
say. It sounded to me after I thought back on our conversations that what I was doing was very similar to what you had done. So that would be something, if it is IBS, ask them about. I could send you the name of the medicine.
Yeah, I need to actually just call them back today because they were supposed to call me last week and I just kept forgetting about it and I haven't heard anything. So,
Every time you poop, you don't think about it.
well, it's not always bad.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like every couple of days I might poop my pants. And I don't actually poop my pants. I've only done that once. But all the rest of the time it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yikes. Yikes.
This is
So
quite the conversation to be recorded. I just want to
I
know. Also-
remembering that.
I don't know if anyone saw Jesse's face when we started talking about the pelvic floor when I asked that question. That was the greatest joy of my day. She was so uncomfortable, but also laughing so hard.
Love you all and all of your things.
Oh, so great. So great. Anything else anybody wants to share about their bodily functions, fluids, your heart, anything?
The first test I had to do for fertility was to check to make sure I wasn't going into early menopause, and that came back clear. We're in the clear for that. So that was, a celebration.
Maybe that's my problem. I mean, I am 40. But my uterus still seems to work pretty well every 28 days on the dot. So flushes a lot of stuff out. Okay, on that note, Allison, did you look like you wanted to say something just there?
Don't have anything to add about your body flushing, all those things just
No.
coming out of you? No.
I'm a big fan of the regular alarm clock with a nice hot cup of tea, and everything works like clockwork.
Oh, wait, you take tea so you could poop?
Yeah, you wake up in the morning, have a cup of hot tea at the same time every morning, and your body gets on its schedule.
Oh, my body's on a schedule. Would you like to hear it? I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I poop. It's not pretty. I eat breakfast, I poop. I eat lunch, I poop. I have a snack, I poop. I have dinner, I poop. And then usually one more time before I go to bed.
What did you guys do when Scott was taking the medicine for his colonoscopy?
He had to go somewhere else. I literally said to him, I'm like, either I can't eat or you have to go poop somewhere else. Also, to be fair, the amount that he was pooping because of the colonoscopy was more than probably a trailer bathroom can handle.
I was
probably just
wondering.
on the
I'm
edge.
not lying. I was thinking about that
Oh,
and how gross that would be in your trailer.
He did not. He went across the street to his dad's business, and it was after hours. And so he took the key and he took his computer and signed on to the Wi-Fi and watched the presidential debate, which would make anybody want to poop. And also, one more thing you can pray for, Reed is running around saying, go Trump, win Trump, go Trump. And I was like, Reed, no. He's like, everybody is allowed to vote for whoever they want to. And I'm like, that's true. But most people
not.
keep that private, and most people don't like him. So don't do that. Okay. He's like, oh, I'm going to say it louder, Mom. Anyways, pray for Reed.
Of course he is.
From his mother. Okay. Allison, you want to pray for us? That'd be awesome.
Okay. God, thank you for this group of women and those also watching this recording at a later time. I ask that you would just continue to give us strength to meet the challenges of every day, for people's bodies to continue to heal. Please provide good medical advice for those who are looking for it, for energy, for caring for families and children. And I just pray that you would just renew us every day, Lord. Thank you for who you are, and just continue to help us to walk in your footsteps. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Good to see all your beautiful faces.
Yes.
Right back
I'm gonna
at
go
ya.
plan our virtual Latin America committee